Welcome to Georgia, mall walkers. For our first, and so far only, venture into Georgia, we find ourselves taking a look at the Savannah Mall. There's no beating around the bush. It's a dying one. But it has appeared to have stabilized in a sort of limbo. Join me for a walk and you'll see what I mean. Savannah Mall's land goes back quite a ways, with plans for residential developments going back to the 1940s. These plans never materialized, but residential zones would go up around the area in the 70s, and as State Route 204 went up, the land would end up being rezoned for commercial use. This would pave the way in 1988 for talks of a shopping mall. David Hocker and Associates, collaborating with R.F. Coffin Enterprises, would begin construction of the mall in 1989, with architects Crawford, McWilliams, and Hatcher Associates. And in August 29, 1990, the Savannah Mall would open with Belk, J.B. White, Miller & Rhodes, and Jordan Marsh as the original anchors. The mall aimed for a more upscale clientele and was meant to succeed the long-established Oglethorpe Mall. However, under the surface, problems were already arising. And yes, I am aware of the irony of R.F. Coffin Enterprises. Miller & Rhodes would have filed bankruptcy during the mall's construction, and this would leave the space vacant on opening day. Jordan Marsh, meanwhile, would have scrapped plans for a new store while in their own financial troubles, and opted to remain at the Oglethorpe Mall. This would lead Parisian and Montgomery Ward to fill in the spaces hastily in 1991, with Parisian filling in Miller & Rhodes, and Montgomery Ward filling in Jordan Marsh. Despite the anchor mix-up, this did inspire developments to go up around the Savannah Mall, bringing in new residential developments, as well as establishing a retail corridor around the mall, bringing in the first Publix in Georgia and the first store outside of Florida. In this regard, the Savannah Mall did at least succeed. The anchor situation was still an issue for Savannah Mall, with Montgomery Ward pulling out of the area in 1998. Meanwhile, Dillard's would acquire J.B. White's parent company and would come to vor the J.B. White location, turning it into their own space. Meanwhile, Parisian and Belk would suddenly leave the mall together in 2003. After 10 years of prosperity, many tenants were beginning to leave, with some returning to the Oglethorpe Mall and others just leaving entirely. Later that year, however, Bass Pro Shops overhauled the Parisian pad and would open in its place, while Target would come to completely replace the Belk pad in 2004, maintaining a mall entrance. At least, it used to. The mall even secured a Burlington coat factory until 2020. Meanwhile, the former Montgomery Ward would see a Steve & Barry's come in 2004, and then leave in 2009. A.C. Moore even took up residence as a junior anchor lasting from 2007 to 2019. While the mall fought to survive, filling in the vacancies, patching holes, and even putting in a multi-million-dollar renovations for greener energy use and ADA improvements, it just wasn't enough to keep the mall viable, with Dillard's downgrading into a clearance center. Today, the mall's interior is withering away, losing more and more tenants as time goes on. It is estimated that as of 2021, only 19 tenants remain, a handful of which are national chains. And on top of that, a familiar name, Kohan Retail Investment Group, owns the mall. This is just how the roster lined up. It is likely that the wrecking ball might hide over the horizon for Savannah Mall, but we can only wait and see for now. Going into this, I initially thought this was a late DeBartolo mall, but after doing some simple research, I couldn't find anything saying his group even had a hand in this mall. And I thought that was kinda odd because this mall had a look to it that really led me to believe so. It's a nice looking mall with an open and airy center court, which we'll get another look at in a moment, along with a very big and airy food court. You even get those little lampposts along the main concourse. It's overall a pleasant atmosphere, save for a couple things. Now, first off, I would like to say that this mall is just loud. You can hear everything from across each end of the mall. You can hear someone cackling as they gossip. You can hear little kids screaming as they play to pass the time near Bath & Body Works, or as they're walked through the mall looking around in wonder. I try not to talk about this, but it's unavoidable at this mall. There was even this one woman I walked by who just started stomping around in their boots for seemingly no apparent reason. On top of that, you can hear the industrial machinery being used to hang up Christmas displays, which, while they are pretty nice, that brings up another problem I'd like to express. What problem could I have with this admittedly cool Christmas display? It's the timing. This footage was all recorded in October. And to be blunt, I really don't like seeing Christmas in October. Much of the magic in Christmas is already lost on me as it sinks deeper into commercialism, and it has begun to cannibalize other holidays in its wake. Thanksgiving has already been vored by Christmas, and I think most of us have made our peace on that. But now it's eating into Halloween, and I don't know about you, but I kinda like having a time dedicated to spooks and frights. The short version of all this: say no to Christmas in October. Please. Alright, back to positives. Did you see the fountains in the center court? They're barely running. They're trying so hard. It is a nice touch that you don't see all that often anymore. There is, however, a much more impressive fountain outside by the Bass Pro Shops. I am sure you want to see that one, and I did try to get some pictures of that. So stick around for one in the slideshow. Overall, it is nice to see a mall that clings to life, and I do hope that management, or someone in there, can keep this mall on its feet. Find a new use for it. Something. Anything. But that is enough from me about the Savannah Mall. Do share your comments down below about this place. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And of course, as we wind down, do subscribe for more malls. I need to work on another adventure to the south. Maybe 2022 if gas prices don't explode. Nonetheless, thanks for having me, Savannah. And until next time, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you and the Savannah Mall farewell and good luck in this circus.
I feel your touch. It felt too much. It didn't matter anyway. Now I found you. I can't let you go. Now I found you. I can't let it go. There's something in the way I feel about you. About you. There's something in the way I feel about you. About you. About you. About you.